So when my friend asked me what I'm gonna do for Valentine's Day, I said that I'm gonna do a video about this book. Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. It's Lydia here. So if you're new to this channel, I just usually share some of the things I used to change my lifestyle in the past several years by building a healthy routine, by going to the gym, and by reading my books. Today is the weekend before Valentine's Day. It feels as if almost everyone is obliged to do something about Valentine's Day. So today I decided to bring you a book. I just ordered this book, it looks brand new, but I finished it actually on Kindle. Last year I put on a video about I just started reading on Kindle versus physical book. If I really love a book, I actually will order it. I love this book's design. It looks like a game. Also these bright colors. It's not a romance, but it is about love. So that's what we are going to talk about today. It's a book called Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow. I normally don't read fiction books. I read maybe one or two a year. And this one, I found it on a podcast that I really enjoyed, the FT Weekend. I'll put a link down below. In that episode, the podcast host, Lila, interviewed the author of this book, Gabrielle Zevin. I absolutely was blown away by this book because when they talk about this book, the main concern I have is it is a book that about two people, they love designing video games together. Me myself, I don't consider myself a gamer for sure, but as Lilac said in the podcast, all the great literatures is actually just about people. So it's a book about relationship, it's a book about people. The story starts in the 1980s. About the two kids. They met each other at the age of 12 and 11. A boy and a girl named Sam and Sadie. It's a time span from when Sam and Sadie, when they were kids, and then all the way till late 30s. They're extremely smart. For some reason, they didn't speak for 6 years, and then they reconnected in their college years. One of them went to Harvard, the other went to MIT. When they first met each other, they bonded over playing Super Mario. They get older, and then when they bump into each other in college years, they start making video games together. And I know what you want to know. It is a story about a boy and a girl, but how come they're not together? How come they have not being like married with kids? They are not married and they have not kids at all, but it's the beauty of this book. They are to each other the most important people in each other's life. If you want to expect a romantic story, I would say that it is a story that's way more romantic than if it's just a story about two lovers and they break up, get together and divorce, that kind of story. Who will like it? I asked myself as well, because at the beginning I really have some concerns whether I would like this book when they first introduced it in the podcast. But then they also say that it is a book not just for the gamers. It has a lot of elements that we growing up will definitely come across, like the Super Mario and Oregon Trail and some of the other games, and the Sims, and building cities and the stuff, and some online, simpler and more relaxing kind of social media based games. I would say if you're a gamer, you probably really into this book, but you definitely don't have to be. It is true about two people designing video games together, so there are a lot of description about how they design things. It's more about content creation. It's not about how to code. It's more about how do you create a world that you want it to be perfect, where in real life, everything is actually kind of not as perfect as you want it to be. To me, it's more about growing up. It's more about thinking about life. You will go through life for sure to experience a lot of hardships, a lot of setbacks, and you move on with life. It is also about entrepreneurship because they started a company together. Also a story mirroring what's happened in the past several decades. What has happened not just in the US, the book sets in the US, it has the scenes about like New York and Los Angeles, but then it also have influence of the descriptions on the cities like Tokyo and the cultures like Japan and Korea, and how women are viewed in the world of coders or like computer science or maths, starting from the beginning of the 21st century till now, how things has changed. Those things, it applies to everyone, and maybe all of us can find something that you resonate with. So I would definitely recommend this to all the people for Valentine's Day specifically, because it's a really good love story. The book resonated me in so many ways. The main thing is It's a friendship, but it's even more romantic than love relationship. The Valentine's Day is around the corner. It doesn't have to be a special day for people who are in a relationship. Broadly speaking, especially after I read this book, I feel like any kind of relationship involves love, and there could be so many different kinds of life, and there could be so many different forms of relationships, of playing a significant part in each other's life. Why couldn't we just celebrate friendship or any other relationships in the same way? I remember highlighting Sam, the boy in the book, his immature response when his roommates wanted to ask Sadie out in school. No, Sam said, it's more than romantic. It's better than romance. It's friendship. And just as what Sadie said to Sam in the book, lovers are common. True collaborators in life are rare. Even though Sam and Sadie are not together, they are a constant existence in each other's life. Of course, like all the relationship and all the friendships, they went through ups and downs and maybe sometimes even years not speaking to each other. But they always know that they are the most important people in their life, and when they are creating things together, when one can really motivate the other, one can inspire the other to create something that's really, really great, not just for each other but also for the world. Their video games are selling well. You see that, I don't want to spoil it too much. And the other point it really resonates with me is how they design games. I think everybody has a kid in our heart beneath this poker face that we put on to face the world. We all wanted to believe that there's somewhere in the world that is better than the real world that we live in. And that's how the whole concept, when they start to design games, time and again, they try to design somewhere that's better than the real life. When you think about games, it's really interesting because you can die so many times in the game, but you can start over again. And as one of the other figure in this book says that, what is a game? Marx said, it's tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow. It's the possibility of infinite rebirth, infinite redemption. The idea that if you keep playing, you could win. No loss is permanent because nothing is permanent, ever. That's the title of the book, Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow. It's a love story. One of the comments from the back of this book says that it's a love letter to life with all its rose gardens and minefields. So when my friend asked me what I'm gonna do for Valentine's Day, I said that I'm gonna do a video about this book because I just started reading it like a week ago and just finished this 400-page book. I have the answers here. The video is to celebrate all forms of love. The love for nature, the love for life, the love I've ever received from my friends, and the love from you who watched this video. I hope this book can at least give you a little bit of love, even though it's in the book world, or even though it's not as real as you will experience from a real relationship. But hey, anything that helps. And I hope that on this Valentine's Day, you celebrate life. You can find somewhere to read this book or pick it up. That's the end of today's video. Happy